the difference between pre-manifestational awareness, pre-manifestational work, and post-manifestational work, because they are two completely different things. Pre-manifestational, in the pre-manifestational stages, we only have one thing to work on. In post-manifestational stages, we have two things to work on. That is the first distinction. Pre-manifestation is when nothing has happened yet. There's no manifestation. So what am I going to base my work on? How am I going to tell what I need to do? In the pre-manifestational stages, you tell by the way you feel and the little things that are happening around you. Little things. That's how you tell that you are still pre-manifestational. And what I mean by that is, in the pre-manifestational stage, let's say you have a problem that you want to find the solution to. In the pre-manifestational stage, that the end result of that has not yet taken place. So let's say it is about running out of money. I have this problem that I will not have enough money to pay all my bills. Now, that hasn't actually happened yet. You haven't got to that point where you will not have enough money, right? So this is me at the first of the month. After paying all my bills, I used to start thinking about the next first of the month, but the next first of the month was 30 days away. I didn't have to start thinking about it on the first of this month. So I was in the pre-manifestational stage. The thing had not happened yet that I was afraid of. That is pre-manifestational. For someone who is looking for a relationship and they say, I am lonely and I'm just going to end my life alone. I'm going to spend the rest of my life alone because I can't find anyone. Well, you're looking at your life a year down the road, 2 years down the road, 20 years down the road. That hasn't happened yet. And your life is changing every day. So how can you sit here and say, I am going to be alone for the rest of my life? And say it in a way that is your desire. Because sometimes people can say, I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life because that is what they want. But if that's not what you want, then you are creating a negative visualization about the future. So, pre-manifestational stage is a stage where you are worrying about what will happen in the future and you are creating a negative visualization about the future. This is worry and anxiety about something that has not yet happened. If you are worried and anxious or afraid about something that has not yet happened, you are still in a pre-manifestational stage, which means you can prevent it from happening. And that is the most important thing to know about the pre-manifestational stage or pre-manifestational awareness. If you are still pre-manifestational, you can prevent it from happening. Isn't that amazing? That means that I could do something today and I could completely change the outcome for tomorrow. That is pre-manifestational. I just have one problem to deal with. Okay? And I can do it because I'm pre-manifestational, because that negative visualization that I created hasn't yet happened. So as long as it's still in non-physical vibrational form, It has not become a physical reality. It has not become something that I can taste, hear, see, touch, smell. Then I still have the opportunity to control the outcome. So when we are pre-manifestational, we have the opportunity to still control the outcome. Post-manifestation means that that negative visualization that I did is now a reality. It is now what Abraham says, hard, knock on wood reality, which means I can touch it, I can feel it, I can see it, I can hear it, I can smell it, I can taste it. It is there. It is no longer in physical form. Day 30 has arrived and my next bill payment is due. I am now 20 years later and still alone. My car has died in the middle of the road and I need one right away. Manifestation has already taken place and now I need to deal with it. This is Abraham. When Abraham says jumping out of the aircraft without a parachute, don't worry, it'll be over soon. Because why? Because the manifestation will appear. The result of having already jumped, meaning you didn't stay in the aircraft and do the pre-manifestational work. Now it's too late because the manifestation is already taking place. You are in the middle of it. Well, the work that you do when it's post-manifestation, meaning that the manifestation has already happened, now the work is different. Because now I'm working on two things. I am working at taking action, doing what I need to do to stop the bleeding right now. And I need to do the work to improve the future. So now I'm working on two things. Okay? I call this the two-headed monster. Now the two-headed monster exists. In the beginning, the monster only had one head and I could deal with it. But now the monster has two heads. The problem that has already manifested and the vibration that I never changed. Because that vibration can result in other problems. This can become a many-headed monster. Because if I don't change the vibration, it's going to sprout another head and another head and another head. Multiple heads. Multiple problems will happen because I didn't control it soon enough. I have already jumped out. Abraham says the car is already on its way down the hill. You didn't nudge it and then come and stand before it and stop it from its downhill trajectory. You didn't do the work to step up in front of the car. Now the car is already full speed down and it will crash. So this is post-manifestation. Post-manifestation is always a lot more work. Because now you are dealing with a problem that has already manifested, plus you still have to work on your vibration. Otherwise, other problems will happen. So, oftentimes when people enter this whole realm of understanding law of attraction, they don't see the distinction between pre-manifestation and post-manifestation. Pre-manifestation, you can change things very quickly. Post-manifestation, no. It's going to take a lot more time. Here I was, feeling stiff when I woke up in the morning. Here I was, feeling stiff. What was that? That was pre-manifestational awareness, your body communicating with you that you needed to do something. And now here I am with fibromyalgia, ALS, something has happened. It's now post-manifestational, because now I need to do whatever I can to help my body, or to help that situation that has already taken place. Plus, I also still have to change my habit of thought, which caused this manifestation. The manifestation only ever happened because I wasn't thinking thoughts in the way that I should have been thinking them. That's why the manifestation took place in the first place. So now I have two problems. I have this manifested thing that I need to deal with, plus I still need to do the work that I should have done pre-manifestation. Because if I don't do that work now, another manifestation will happen in addition to this one. And another, and another, and another. So people usually don't take action until it's too late. Something has happened. I am already 100 pounds overweight. I've already had the heart attack. Now help me fix it. And then they compare that with pre-manifestational work. And they want the results right away. And yes, results can come right away if you become a completely different person today. You drop everything about who you were before and how you were thinking your thoughts. If you can do that, then you can turn things around like that. You can wake up and everything is different. But if that is not you, then there is a lot of work to be done. And oftentimes the mistake people make is they only work on the ALS or the fibromyalgia or whatever it is that has happened. They start dealing with this problem. And they don't address the real problem, which is the habit of thought. The habit of thought is the real problem. That's what is sprouting all the other problems. So you can deal with this manifestation as best as you can, but if you haven't changed the vibration, then other things are going to come because you haven't changed the vibration. So it is so important to understand that I not only need to shed the weight, I need to change the habit of thought. And I should absolutely do what it takes to help the situation right now, the manifestation that has already taken place. I love Abraham's analogy that they have offered so many times, is that if you're bleeding, you do whatever it takes to stop the bleeding. Then you start the process of healing. But if you never stop the bleeding, you can't start the process of healing. There are two things going on here. I'm going to apply the bandage, then I'm going to go do what I need to do to help it heal. Well, now I don't have any money. I have run out of it completely, but I'm still hanging on to the house. Or I want the job that I want and I'm running out of my savings and that's it, I have no more savings, but I still won't go and stand at the cash register. I won't take whatever is out there. So now you're not stopping the bleeding. And if you don't stop the bleeding, then you will never be able to pay attention to the vibrational work that needs to be done. Because the bleeding will have all your attention. The empty bank account will have all your attention. So all your attention will be on this manifested thing before you. Whereas you not only need to deal with this, you also need to change the habit of thought. And so this is why it is so important to understand that it is way better to wake up and take control in the pre-manifestational stages. And it is so important to keep hope alive and not to look for results in the post-manifestational phases. Because when you are post-manifestation, if you look for results, you make the problem bigger. In the pre-manifestational phase, you look at the problem, you can still do something about it. Hasn't manifested yet. You can take your mind off it and you can reduce the momentum, and that thing will not happen because you're not thinking about it. You're not giving it any more energy. So if you are pre-manifestation and you take your mind off it, it has faster results than if the manifestation has already taken place. Because when a manifestation has already taken place, now if I tell you to take your mind off it, it is way harder to do because it is right there in front of you. The bleeding is taking place and it's making you sick. Right? So in the post-manifestational phase, it is so much harder to take your mind off the problem, which is still helpful. It is still helpful, but now it's time to take action. It's time to take action to do whatever needs to be done. If you need to amputate that part of your body to stop the disease from spreading, then you have to do it. If you have to sell the house, then you have to do it. Because it's too late now. You've got to stop the bleeding. It's too late for you to change it with vibrational work. So even though the vibrational work will have an impact, but it's not going to help now. You have to do both now. Whereas in the pre-manifestational stage, you could have fixed it with vibration. You could have fixed it with meditation. You could have fixed it with appreciation. Now, in addition to all of that work, there is other work to be done. So what I find that happens, and this is one of the mistakes people make when they are learning to use law of attraction, is that they want to fix things just with vibration. And then they are dissatisfied because they're not getting the results. But it's post-manifestation. It's post-manifestation now. So it is going to be a lot more work. And you really have to work on your attachment to the outcome and give up that attachment in order for law of attraction to help you in the post-manifestational stage. Because in the post-manifestational stage, attachment to the outcome is what slows things down a lot. It does so in both pre-manifestation and post-manifestation places, but in post-manifestation, the desire to change things is so much stronger that that desire keeps pulling your attention to the problem, which is what makes it harder to get off the problem. But if you could find a way to get off the problem, eventually you would reduce momentum to such an extent that the problem would go away. Okay? All right. Change the habit of thought, change the vibration. Yes, Melissa, that is really, really important. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Tasneem. Hi, Jennifer. All right. So how do we compress all of this? Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is that it is important to listen. It's important to take those cues in the pre-manifestational phase. It's important to pay attention in the pre-manifestation phase because it makes our work so much easier, right? This is why I use this example as a teacher I should sit home and fix my eyes with meditation and appreciation. But it's post-manifestation. I already need the glasses, and it would be so much harder and so much sillier for me to say, I will not use glasses because I want to fix my eyes through doing vibrational work, energy work. There's something that I can use. That's something, that gadget, that medicine came about from the asking of people who had similar problems. It came, that knowledge to create the medicine came from source. It came from the asking, the desire of other people who have been in my situation before. Look at all the amazing inventions that are taking place around us. People's desires are manifesting. Those gadgets that can help in those situations are a reality now. They did not become a reality for that person or those people who were asking for those gadgets because they weren't ready to allow those things into their life. But their desire put momentum into motion, and now those things are there. From manual wheelchairs to electrically powered mopeds. It's amazing what we have created. There's a solution out there. And do not push away the solution because you want to fix it with vibration. So many people say, oh, I'm not going to take the medicine. I'm going to meditate this problem away. Well, in the pre-manifestational phases, that is most certainly possible. In the post-manifestational stages, you should take the medicine. You should take whatever is available to stop the bleeding. In the context of people who run out of money but will not ask anyone for help. Hello? You are post-manifestation now. Go ask for help. Find a way out of this. Do whatever needs to be done to stop the bleeding. If you can't keep your commitments the next first of the month, sell the house. Cut out those expenses today so that those bills are no longer there the next first of the month. And then, because you will not have that stress anymore, now you can start building again. Now you can start with a fresh canvas. And sometimes people say, no, I should be able to fix it vibrationally. Yes, you can. But then be patient because it is going to take time. Because you need to generate 4 or 5 times more momentum in the post-manifestational stage compared to what you needed to do in the pre-manifestational stage. And so this is where people keep coming back and they're looking for the results of the work that they're doing, not understanding that they are now post-manifestation. And it's a whole different ballgame. What you need to do post-manifestation is a whole different ballgame. Okay? All right. Good morning, Sally. Good to see you. Melissa, Jennifer. Okay. So, I catch myself in the subtle early stages so that I can change the direction of momentum. We don't want momentum low on the emotional scale. It does not serve us to have momentum low on the emotional scale. What we want is momentum high up on the emotional scale. We want momentum here. So we have to do whatever it takes to diffuse negative momentum, then go up the emotional scale so that we can make a change. Okay? In pre-manifestational stages, the momentum here is not that strong, so it is easier to go up the emotional scale. Because, okay, so if this other pen was momentum, and momentum is the speed at which you're traveling towards manifestation, if you've traveled this far, it's much harder to come back than if you've only gone here. That's what I'm talking about. If I've only gone here, I can easily come back and go up. But if I'm already here, now pulling myself all the way back and then going up the emotional scale is a lot more work, because momentum will keep pulling us in the other direction. Because once momentum is strong enough, it is difficult to swim against the current. This is the current. I have jumped into the stream. Oh my God, this is really good. So I have jumped into the stream, but if I'm here, I'm still close to shore. I'm still so close to shore that I can easily, I don't even have to swim. I can just walk back to shore and then go up the emotional scale, go up and find another stream, a positive stream leading to positive results. But if I have stepped into the stream and the current has got me and I am way here in the stream, now swimming back so that I can get back on land is so much harder, because I've gone so deep that now I have to fight the water to come back here. So first, now I have two things. Remember, when I started this morning, I said in post-manifestational stages, you have two things to do. So first, the first thing to do is to swim back to shore. And the second thing to do is to go up the emotional scale so that I can step into a different stream. Okay? So what Abraham says is, if you don't have the energy to swim back, then don't worry, it will be over soon. And they say it jokingly, but they're right, because it will be over soon and then you can start again from here. This is what happens to people who are afraid of bankruptcy, afraid of bankruptcy, afraid of bankruptcy, afraid of bankruptcy. This went wrong, this went wrong, this went wrong, this went wrong, and I didn't swim back. And now I'm bankrupt. Well, now because I'm bankrupt, I'm out of the stream completely. Because that negative thing has already happened. So now I can start over. Right? So, folks, that's what I want to leave you with. And it's saying to yourself that I have the ability to catch myself in the subtle early stages so that I can change the direction of my momentum, of the manifestation. I have the ability. I can do that. I have the ability to change the direction of my momentum. That is the most important thing. If you become someone who catches those negative thoughts so that you never swim too far away from shore, then you are an expert, powerful creator, and all things that you want are possible. Not only possible, they are certain. Love you all lots, unicorns. I had so much fun with this conversation this morning. Love you all, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.